Welcome back to yet another exciting dribble banter by Joel.
And Matt, and this is entertainment banter, in case you were
What did I
wondering.
say?
You just said dribble banter.
Whatever.
Just keep going. Go ahead.
Tonight's episode, we're going to go right into it. Because...
Right into it!
Okay, now we're not getting right into it. Now we're just talking about crap.
Yeah, let's go. Go. Bring it on, baby.
All
What
right,
do we got? What are we talking about today?
We're going to talk about a short mini-series that just ended recently on Disney Plus.
Dun, dun, dun. What is it?
Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. Is that a Star Wars thing?
That is a Star Wars thing. So let me say this straight up the bat. Straight out the
go
gun, straight out the cannon, whatever you want to say. Joel is not a fan of Star Wars. I don't like Star Wars. I'm pretty sure you've heard my gripes many episodes of Star Wars because Matt loves Star Wars. He's really upset what's been happening to Star Wars. Disney has pissed on his dreams, pissed on his heart, and pissed in his eye. Matt just wants to cry more than half the time.
Joel. It stinks.
I know it does, Matt. But I want to say this is Disney's crying call to say we're sorry and we're trying to make it up. But it's almost like it's a too little, too late. But I have to say, as a non-Star Wars fan as I am, I can no longer say that I'm no longer a Star Wars fan because I am indifferent about it at this point because Mandalorian was an interesting TV show. And I got pulled into it. Maybe because there's not much story being pushed on it right now. There's a lot of questions being brought about it, which is great. You want plenty of questions. You want someone to explore some of those questions. You want to have some of those questions not answered. It brings you back to watch the episodes more and more and more. There are 8 episodes, and each one was very interesting to watch. Yes, I did not get any of those Easter eggs. I don't understand any of them. And apparently there's a lot of them. But even so, I enjoyed every little bit of it. I understand. Wow. I stand the TV show, just because I've seen the Star Wars movies, because I like to go see movies, and I know this is one of those big movies you have to go see. I take my time. I don't get, what was the new one? The first episode.
The Rise of Skywalker.
No. Not a New Hope. What's the newer New Hope?
Force
Awakens. I don't go buy movie tickets months in advance and then go to the Chinese theater to see it like some people are on this podcast with me.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But I had to go see it to see what, it's going row. I don't even remember half the movies I saw, but I do know how the Force is and all that shit. So when you got to see Baby Yoda reach out and do little things, it's just the dynamic between Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian. It's just their development together is amazing. And if this is a spoiler for you, well, go fuck yourself. Go watch it already.
Dang, for someone who doesn't really care about Star Wars, I'm kind of impressed with that intro right now.
It's a great TV show. I wasn't going to watch it, but everyone at work is like, "Oh, you got to give Mandalorian a chance. You should watch it." But I'm like, all right, how long are they? Oh, they're only like 30 to 45 minutes long. They're not that long of episodes.
Well, the times are different.
They range differently.
It's awkward. It doesn't have a formula, a normal stat formula.
Which is great because you don't know when that cliffhanger is going to come. And none of the episodes felt tediously long. None of the episodes felt boring. You were always interested in what was going to happen next. It was kind of an interesting layout, too, with Disney Plus, because usually when you do a streaming service, you get all the episodes at once. So Netflix is known to release everything in one day, and then you have to wait a whole year to see the next season, and then by then you forget the fuck you were watching. You're like, oh, I better watch that season again, and you binge watch like crazy, which you can do with Disney Plus. But Mandalorian didn't release an episode until every Friday night at 4 in the morning or whatever it was, East Coast time, or however they did it. So it was an interesting to wait for episodes streaming, but at the same time, I don't want to binge watch that like crazy anymore anyways, because it's, I don't want to be a tool to my couch. But it was very fun to watch, and I liked watching the development of it all and knowing some Easter eggs. I didn't know any of them, but knowing something about Star Wars made it interesting to watch. If you don't know anything about Star Wars, it'll be very I'd be interested in what you would have to say, but at this point, I'm not sure there's anyone on this planet who doesn't know anything about the Star Wars franchise.
Right.
So,
well, it's interesting. Yeah, it's interesting to say that because I think it's actually probably one of a great starting points to watch Star Wars because you're just following one guy. Even if you don't know the locations and you don't know the ships and you don't know the people, it doesn't really matter. You're just following that guy. So it's probably a great jumping point to be interested in Star Wars. Well, it's I got to talk the politics a little bit. It's Kathleen Kennedy is one of the producers on it.
Jesus
but
Christ,
apparently,
Matt. You have to ruin everything.
I do. I ruin it all. But it doesn't seem like she really had her hand in this. Dave Filoni did some stuff on it, and Favreau did some stuff on it. He was the one that wrote it, created it. He wrote it, created
and directed it.
He directed some of them. He didn't direct all of them.
Oh, he didn't?
But
okay.
No, and Filoni, I think, directed one.
This podcast.
That's okay. That's why I'm here. But yeah, I mean, I told our one of our two other listeners, besides my mom, that has this weird worshiping poster of his friggin' idol Iger and Baby Yoda over his bed. What the hell it is, his desk. I told him flat out, I said, hey, you know what? It's 1 out of 6 ain't bad. So out of 6 things, 5 of them fucked up, but you got one right. So good for you.
For the bald guy that's listening to this, that's Nick Herron's desk.
the only other guy. So yeah, no, I like what I liked about The Mandalorian was that it brought it back to like a New Hope level where it was more slow paced, because if you listen to people talk about watching Star Wars, have never seen it, watching it now, they're like, it's really slow and boring. Well, back when we watched it, it may have been slow and boring too, but there's something to be said about taking your time and seeing the world seeing how things work.
We all know,
you know what I mean?
We all know the end of that, like, so The Mandalorian is a series between Return of the Jedi and Force Awakens. So obviously, the Empire takes back over. So something happens in the middle there. So the end point.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's interesting to know, like, it's not what the destination is, it's how we're getting there, and you don't have to take your time. I mean, you take your time to get there. It's going to be a great little ride, and I appreciate it too. And I know there's a lot of things, like, one of my favorite episodes of it, not favorite episodes, one of my favorite scenes is when the stormtroopers are hanging outside on their scooters.
Yeah, a lot of people.
And they're trying to shoot the fucking can, and they can't because they all suck at shooting. And it's like funny because you all know, if you watch Star Wars or you hear memes or everything, stormtroopers can't hit anything with their blasters.
Well, that's part of the inside jokes.
Yeah,
that they did.
So it was hilarious that they were during that, and they just kept shooting like, "Oh, come on, man, I could hit that," and he's trying to hit it, and they can't hit it for shit.
Well, I had another
really
good.
Funny.
I had a friend comment on that because, in the entertainment industry, there's times where you're just sitting on your ass waiting to start the projects that you're working on. And so a lot of times that's what you do. You find something stupid to do for 5 minutes because you're just so bored out of your mind waiting for the next scene or whatever you need to do.
Yeah, and you can't go do anything you really want to do, so you just fuck around, yeah.
So for me, I laughed hysterically because it just reminded me of so many gigs I've worked on where we did stupid stuff like that. And someone said, well, another person I know wrote a comment saying, I would watch a whole show dedicated to those two stormtroopers.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
You're down to earth with them. You understand what's going on in their head. You're like, yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I'm with you on there. I get you. I mean, it's even funny, like, they suck at their job and they just suck at, like, living. Almost, it seems like.
But it was a very real moment, which, you know what I mean? Exactly. And I think that's the problem with this day and age, is like, I think that's why The Mandalorian has brought some normal humanity back to the average person who doesn't give a shit about, expressing themselves or politics or whatever. It's just, I mean, you have to be a pretty heartless bastard to kill a baby. You know what I mean? Whether it's a Yoda or otherwise, even if you're hired to do it, or giving it to somebody that is not going to treat it well. It's just, you know what I'm saying? It's pretty apparent. Like, that's basic down to earth stuff. We're getting back to basics. And I think that's why people liked it so much.
But also that thing is so freaking adorable.
It is.
It's on the scale of cute. Gizmo level, man.
It is.
If you didn't know Gizmo, go look up Gremlins and come back to this podcast. We'll wait.
Yeah. Little nod to Warner Bros. It's funny because the story I thought was good. There was only a couple episodes I thought were unnecessary or stupid, and and then one of them was the prison one. I didn't really think that was necessary. And the prison one, I think, I mean, you said your dad grew up Star Trek, right? Like, were you a Star Trek house?
Oh, both.
Okay.
That's why I don't like either of them.
Well, I'll be honest with you. Like, as a kid growing up, I was kind of a Star Trek snob. Like, I was like, I don't care about Star Trek. I love Star Wars.
Yeah, I know, Final right? Frontier.
As an adult now, I appreciate Star Trek for what it is. But
yeah, but what
I'm saying is the Disney's Star Wars has to be careful about not looking too Star Trek-y. And what I mean by that is, like, in the opening scene in the very first episode, they had that blue guy trying to talk his way out of being captured, and he was very annoying. And I just, for 2 seconds, I was thinking, this feels like Star Trek. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like, how like you got these random aliens and they have personalities and they're trying to talk like human beings and stuff. And like, I get it, but they're not humans, so don't make them talk like humans. It just drives me. That makes it feel like Star Trek. And I was saying to myself, if the people that the Mandalorian run into, if they're like that kind of campy stupid, then the show's gonna fail. But then thankfully, he runs into, like, I love the Village episode, the one where he meets the woman that could be a potential love interest. Right. I thought that was a great. Those characters were great. But then the prison one was a problem for me, like the crew that he was with, even though there was a comedian with them and it's inside jokes and all this stuff. I just feel like it just didn't work for me. I just thought it was stupid. I thought the story was. It was
a weird episode when I watched it. I'm like, what? Did I miss
didn't
something?
Bring anything really to the table. All it did was like give an excuse. Episode. It was a filler, and I think the only benefit that the character got out of it was he got money for his ship or something.
And it kind of introduced new people that, like, and the way the Mandalorian is.
I will say the one nod or Easter egg or whatever I thought was great was seeing Dave Filoni flying an X-Wing. If you don't know who Dave Filoni is, it's the creator of the Clone Wars animated series, the CGI one, and he's been part of Lucasfilm for a very long time, kind of like, I wouldn't say an apprentice to George Lucas, but he's been around for a long time, and he knows he definitely went under George Lucas's wing on a lot of things. So I thought it was really kind of fun little nod for him to be in an X-Wing fighter. I don't know if he enjoyed that experience or not, but being on camera as opposed to behind it. But I thought it was that to me was the best part of that whole episode. I just thought it was funny to see him do that.
That's great.
But yeah, I mean, there's some nods too. Like, you could tell, like, they were also like over panhandling the nerds because they brought up Life Day, and the only time that was ever mentioned was on the failed attempt of the Star Wars Christmas special in the 70s that George Lucas absolutely despised.
Yeah.
But the thing about that is, like, Life Day was only for the Wookiees, I believe. I don't know. So the fact that everyone was trying to get home for Life Day just sounded like they were trying too hard to just, let's just throw that in there because all the super nerds will know what Life Day is. So, like, some parts were kind of annoying. So I wish they wouldn't go so hard on stuff like that.
Well, you got to see where they're going to go. You never know what's going to happen in the next season. And,
right. But you know what's great storytelling? Like, to me, what's really great storytelling is when he would take the knob off of his control panel to give to Baby Yoda to play with. Like the kid was interested in it, and so he would unscrew it and off his control panel and give it to him to play. The little things like that, that's great storytelling. It shows that the Mandalorian cares. It shows that he's building a bond with this little creature. It shows what the little creature is still a baby, even if it's 100-something years old.
50 years old,
still 50 years old. It still wants to play.
Did you even watch the show?
A while ago, But so, anyways,
did you find it interesting? I just brain farted.
Go ahead.
No, we're talking about. You effed me up.
I didn't say anything. I let you talk.
No. You said some things, and now I can't remember what I was going to say. It was something about like. It's just. Did you find it interesting that? Bleh.
You got nothing. All right. Well, we're talking about Baby Yoda. We're talking about the characters, the realism, the natural. I liked the Walker, the scenes. I thought that was
whatever.
Yeah. I thought that was cool. The tease that it might be Boba Fett out of the Sarlacc pit still there. I really appreciated the Mandalorians standing up for each other in the second episode where he's trying to
even though they didn't like each other.
Yep. It was the way they still did the code.
What about? Did you expect him to reveal his face one of the last episodes?
I actually did expect it to happen, but I don't think it did. Did it?
Yeah, no. He refused to remove his helmet. He was going to die, and it was like the first 10 minutes of the last episode. I'm like, are you kidding me? They're going to kill him off? Holy crap, that's a bold move. I'm like, all right, we doing this. Let's do it, Disney.
Disney, that wouldn't surprise me. I will tell you this, though. If they get rid of the Yoda character, the show is going to tank hard. I guarantee you.
Get rid of either one will tank. So right now, these two are the show. Their development with each other are the show. And that's what people are interested in at the same time. So I was finding it interesting, like when I thought he was going to die, I'm like, well, I wonder what's going to happen. But then the droid is like, well, I'm not really a human, so you can show your face to me. And that's when he let it happen. And it was like logic beat him over. And then he was able to get healed, and he made it through. And the resilience of I didn't expect what he's going to look like. He looked like Inigo Montoya, from The Princess Bride. So if you haven't seen that movie, we'll wait. No, go watch that movie right now. We'll wait.
The ending of the series was well done, I thought. Here's the thing too, like this is the cynic in me, but like I feel like after the failure of Solo, like Obi-Wan Kenobi was supposed to have its standalone movie, and then they decided to push this Disney Plus, rush it out for whatever reason. They felt they needed to like get it out now, probably because they were hurting so bad with all the other failures and all the purchasing they needed. They needed that $6 a month from everybody to play catch up, and so they just pushed it out as quickly as possible. But I feel like The Mandalorian was supposed to be a one and done, but because Disney is Disney, and the minute something's popular, they just have to instantly beat it to death. Because I don't think there was supposed to be a season 2, but because they have nothing else to go on, and because all the other Disney Star Wars stuff was. All of the other Disney Star Wars stuff that was in the making, they put on hold or scrapped.
But it was.
Yes, they did.
I don't give a shit what that was. They were going to make more seasons of Mandalorian. It was already announced in something. Secondly,
after it was popularity.
Which shithead dropped the ball on, let's make a Baby Yoda in this TV show, and then no one made merchandise for this piece of shit doll. Because how adorable is that piece of shit?
The argument was, unlike The Rise of Skywalker, where they didn't know what was going to be in the movie, they knew what was going to be in it,
and they didn't want to ruin the surprise.
They didn't want to ruin the surprise, right? The reveal.
But but as soon as that episode aired, they could have been like, boom.
Oh yeah,
Yoda
they should have been pumping
everywhere.
The shit out of it, right? No, they dropped the ball on it. I think they were playing it safe, because at that point in time, everything in Star Wars was just they were dropping the ball everywhere. I mean, we haven't talked about Rise of Skywalker yet, but
that's coming up.
It's coming up, but I'm just saying they didn't know. I know Disney, they just, after one flop after another and pissing off the fans, I'm sure they were just pumping the brakes until is it going to be good? It's going to be good? Okay, it's good. And then they greenlight stuff, because they can't afford to keep doing what they did in the past, which is greenlight everything and then just piss everybody off and no one buys it.
Because they're realizing that you just put the Star Wars name on it, doesn't sell it. You need to actually appease people while you do it.
Right. So, I mean, no, it's a great point that you brought up. Of course. Oh, and Disney's already strong-arming people, because other companies picked up on it quick and started making merchandise, and then Disney already said, no, you can't do that anymore. So. Well,
yeah, because then they're going to start making their own merchandise and make $1 gazillion off it.
Well, yeah.
They're going to frozen this shit so much.
Baby Yoda is the only thing that saved Disney Star Wars. Isn't that sad?
Well, I think it's not only just Baby Yoda. I think it's the fascination of we're actually, possibly, maybe, it's a possibility, Disney may go in the direction of learning more about the species of Yoda. We don't know anything about them, other than they live so fucking long, and apparently, we only know 2 of the creatures exist now, that they are very in tune to the Force.
Right.
And Baby Yoda's learning, so maybe Baby Yoda will end up in another movie in the future after, Episode 9, and he's going to be... Because how many years is Episode 9 from Return of the Jedi?
Oh, it's got to be at least 20
or 30
I'm guessing.
Years, yeah. So now Baby Yoda's maybe in his teenager years, maybe? I don't know. Yeah. 50 years makes him 5, so another 30 years makes him 8?
Well, you just gotta look at it from, like I said, Iger's mental standpoint of how can I make they want Star Wars to be a marketable thing every year, right? So So they're just like, that's why I can't talk Rise of Skywalker, so I gotta clear my head from this. But if you look at all the other things that were slated to happen that are now not happening, like the Obi-Wan movie. Obi-Wan Kenobi was supposed to be a movie, then Solo tanked, and a whole bunch of there was rumors of a Boba Fett movie, and all this stuff started once Solo tanked. They pumped the brakes on all of it. They canceled all those movies for the next 10 years. Then they pushed out Disney Plus, and then they said, well, let's start, instead of making those movies, let's make them into TV shows, because in all honesty, TV shows make more money than movies anyways.
And they're doing better right now. That's the new thing. Let's have a TV show that runs for like seasons and seasons, but you got to have an end. You can't just fucking blindly go. You have to know there's an end.
But that's the problem.
That's what made Breaking Bad so good. That's what made Walking Dead keeps going. Hopefully it's going to end soon.
Well, yeah, Walking Dead's going to be, that's a dangerous recipe, because they're just limp dicking it every season, and they're milking it for what it's worth. But it's already.
We should talk about The Walking Dead, but you need to watch it.
We should, but they've repeated this plot, every other couple seasons. You know what I mean? Oh, they're doing great, and then some asshole.
Matt, you haven't seen it, so fuck off.
I've seen parts of it. Don't joke with me. I have seen.
Fuck whatever's going on with that. The building of the characters and what they deal with in situations like that is what you're really watching. I get it. Fuck with the. Yep. It's always worst case scenario. It's it's not. Sure. So like. Back to Guardians. Back to Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. Well, I was just going to say there was rumors that Obi-Wan Kenobi could maybe guest star appear in it, but now the Obi-Wan Kenobi story, the TV show, that is on a temporary hold now too. And so, no, he's not dead because he's old.
He's dead in the Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah, Mandalorian. You're right. Yeah, sorry, you're right. Mandalorian. I'm sorry. I was thinking about something else. But they were going to try to introduce Obi-Wan Kenobi's series, and now that is on a temporary hold.
Yeah. Because
once again, Lucasfilm and Iger can't get together and figure this out. The other thing too is they're already gonna, with Rise of Skywalker, after it's not so successful thing, they're already talking about retconning a lot of stuff, and Disney's gonna try to pump out all these stories and everything else in books and movies and video games and whatever. It's just they have no consistency whatsoever in their marketing and their storytelling. It's just all over the place. So Mandalorian, 8 episodes. They were great. I thought 2 of them were weak. I thought the prison one was weak, and I thought the one with the wannabe bounty hunter was kind of weak. But the rest of them were well done. But I just feel like it's going to be hard to maintain that quality. I hope that Favreau didn't put all his eggs in his creative writing in one basket, because, like I said, you pitch an idea, you pitch an idea and you say, hey, I have a really great story. It's about 8 episodes long. It's a miniseries. It's amazing. It's great. And they do it, and it is amazing, and it is great. And then what happens is, like, they say, okay, we got to do more of these. Everyone likes it. Pump it out. Frozen
Absolutely,
2.
But he's so creative. He's such a good writer. He's a good director. He's a good actor. I think he's ready for whatever they're going to throw at him. But he will back out before he sacrifices. You know what I mean? Like, he backed out of directing. I hope so. He backed out of directing Avengers, the first one, because he's like, this is over my head. And he didn't want to do Iron Man 3 either, because he's like, no, it's too much. I did Iron Man 1, I did Iron Man 2, and I'm out.
Yeah.
So he knows when to back away.
Well, like anything, I don't know if anybody has their price. I mean, Disney will throw money at them. They're talking about bringing back Robert Downey.
But I don't think Favreau has a price. I think because he does independent movies still. He doesn't. I think he has a soul still.
I do. I
want to believe he has a soul still.
Based on his behind the scenes stuff and everything that I've seen him work on, like, I feel like I agree with you. He's one of the few rays of hope in Hollywood.
Absolutely, because he stands his ground. I mean, he doesn't want your money. He's doing it for the art.
Yeah, well, and I think it shows.
He's a nerd. So
yeah, I think it shows.
Absolutely.
And maybe that's a podcast for another time. Is just
talking about
standing your ground and make your film and see, or your show or whatever, your music, and see if it pays off in the long run. But if you sell out, where do you end up? All right.
Well, Matt, we'll write that down, and you tell me what you think your final thoughts are on this. So give me a final thought.
Mandalorian. I liked it. I thought at times they were trying to cater to the fan base too much, the fanboys too much, but overall, I thought the story was very good. I liked that they took their time with the story, and it wasn't all like blaster fire and craziness. That they actually had some heart and substance to it. Like I said, I thought only 2 out of the 8 episodes were weak. So 2 out of 8 isn't bad. And then my concern is not Favreau or Filoni or the Mandalorian show itself. My concern is Iger and wanting to make that quick rush buck, and try and monopolize off of something that's good, because like we know, once Disney sees something's popular, they'll just fucking run it into the ground, and it'll be past due and no one will give a shit, like Frozen 2. And I feel like if they do that to the Mandalorian, they just have to tread carefully. They need to make sure that they don't rush this, just to make a quick buck, or just to add something to the streaming service to keep people going, because like, just pump it out, because we have no new content on Disney Plus, so we got to pump it out. They need to take their time with it, and they need to do it right. If they do it right, then Disney will be smart and they'll be successful. If they just try to do it for all the wrong reasons, it's gonna just piss people off even more, and I wouldn't want to be around if that happened. That's if I was working for Disney.
Okay. Matt, you are a bitter soul. I feel like you can't you can't find joy in any of this anymore. Like, I feel like you're just hurt by you've been hit so many times that you just don't want to open up anymore.
Do you disagree? Are you telling me
that I'm not saying
do you think people are begging for Avatar 2 right now? Are people begging for Frozen 2 right now?
But I'm telling you right now, I know what you're saying, but you're
the next
hurt.
10 years of Marvel movies are going to be the same as the first 10.
You're an abused child, and
you're not.
And I hope that one day
you are so
see the light. I'm not going to say I disagree with you.
See the light, Joel.
I'm not.
Tell me,
hold
what
on.
What Marvel movie are you looking forward to the next 10 years?
Linda, listen.
Linda,
listen.
Shit.
I am just saying I don't disagree with you. But there's a
tone. I'm the only one that vocalizes it.
No, I vocalized in many podcasts before this. I don't need to vocalize it every single podcast.
What's the whole point of podcasting about this? You got to keep.
Is this your platform? Is this your damn platform?
This is my platform. Obama doesn't have this platform.
Oh, no, he doesn't. He has better platforms. Probably more expensive platforms. I don't think he stands on soapboxes. I'm pretty sure he stands on...
I'm pretty sure Obama could start his own podcast if he wanted to.
I'm pretty sure he probably does, and we just don't know it because we don't listen to any podcasts besides our own.
When do we have time? We barely have time to do our own podcast, let alone listen to other people's.
I know, but can you believe that we're almost out of episodes to post, and now that we're actually going to be relative?
I know.
So,
I know. So,
you're welcome, fan.
I want you to just answer my one question. What Marvel movie in the next 10 years are you saying, I gotta see that movie? And it can't be Deadpool, because that doesn't count. I'm talking about the cinematic universe. There's no movie called Galactus.
It will be Galactus in the next 10 years?
It's not called Galactus.
No, it won't
be. The name of the movie.
It's going to be an Avengers movie.
She-Hulk.
I'm excited to see the Spider-Man movie. I'm excited to see the next Thor movie.
Spider-Man.
Why can't you just said Marvel? You can't say Marvel and then take away the Marvel movies.
No, you can't do the Sony combinations. So... You can't do those. So, okay, I'm talking actual Marvel Cinematic Universe without the
as Guardians of the Galaxy.
Okay, when that's supposed to come out?
Nope.
It's like one of the last ones. You're going to be waiting like 8 to 10 years. Okay, so you're going to be waiting 8-10 years. Okay, so for 8 or 10 years, that's the only movie you're looking forward to for the next 8 to 10 years.
Probably. I'm still going to see the others, and I'm always surprised what they do. But it's true. It's true. I wasn't excited for the original Thor. I wasn't excited for the original Captain America.
We talked about that.
Excited for any of that crap. So I'm excited to see what Disney's going to do, but I'm not excited for any specific movie.
I want to put you on the spot. Are you telling me the next 10 years are going to be just as good or better than the first 10 years?
The next 10 years are going to be different, because they will be different. They're not going to be the same movies, man. They're going to be different.
Okay, well, we'll see. We'll find out. Let's see. Maybe Disney will surprise us. Maybe they'll realize that people just want to go and have fun. We'll see.
And on that note, this was Entertainment Banter with...
What? Seriously?
With
Matt. My name is Matt.
You said before I'm not supposed to say your name, so I was waiting for it.
Go. I don't. This is painful. End it.
Gosh.
End it.
End it. Get out of here. My name is Joel, and
I'm Matt.
Oh my god. How many Matts do we have? I'm done.